Red pill culture was perpetrated by Israel. Let me tell you how. So I used to spend the majority of my time online on 4chan. Like this was 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago now at this point, I think. I'm a combat veteran of Project Chinology. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It was a really wild time though. And the whole red pill concept, its breeding grounds were on 4chan. What's really funny to me still to this day is that the whole concept of the red pill started out as a joke. It was a meme. Like we would play the character of like, the dumb internet conspiracy guy that believed that, the government was out to get everybody, and the idea of red pilling somebody was really just like playing this like Alex Jones-ish type character where they had weather control machines and the gay frogs and the whole, and it stayed that way for several years. But then it seemed right around 2013, 2014, it started to shift. Like more and more posts started showing up about red pills, and people were seriously engaging in this idea of like this hidden world. Like there was a veil that was over the regular world, and once you lifted it, then you saw the grand conspiracy. This also coincided with right around the time that I actually became a moderator for one of the boards, the random board or the B board. I didn't last very long doing it, like probably a little less than a month, because it was literally 6 to 8 hours of just reporting and deleting CP threads over and over. Like every time I would take care of one, I would refresh and there would be three more. It was that bad. But after reporting so many of these IPs, I started to notice that a lot of them were coming out of Israel. Which, if you don't know, a majority of IP addresses have something called a geofeed link to them, so that they are matched to their geographical location. And Israeli, not all of them, but the majority of Israeli IP addresses begin with 128. And these 128s, as I came to call them, they were doing three major things at that time. They were doing CP, and like a lot of it too. They were doing red pill threads, and then they were doing like boxy putty threads, which were basically just like spam, like nonsense threads that were meant to like distract you and just kind of make you mad, like rage bait. And at one point I was talking to another mod in an IRC, and I was like, hey, have you noticed these 128s? And he was like, yeah, definitely. I'm like, have you talked to Moot about it or anything? Because he had a direct relationship with Moot. Moot was the founder of 4chan, and at the time he was the owner and like head moderator or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I brought it up a couple of times, but he doesn't seem too worried about it. Like he doesn't really care where this stuff is coming from. He just wants it taken off the site and make sure that it gets reported so that we can't be held liable. I could talk about all that for at least another 20-30 minutes easily, but I don't want to take any more of your time. If you do want to know more, like hit me up and let me know. I'll tell you some more stories that I have from that time. But yeah, Israel did red pill. So my last post got restricted because I was pointing out the connection between red pill culture and a certain country that has a blue and white flag with 6 points on it. I guess the saying's true. If you want to know who rules over you, just look to whom you're not allowed to criticize.